Hello, everyone. It's been a while. Welcome to a commentary channel. I've uploaded thousands of videos, and the variety, well, I've covered just about anything and everything. If you search my channel, there might be something for you. And I want to apologize. I haven't been on for a while for a couple of reasons. Mainly my health, and we'll get to that a little bit later because that's today's topic. And the second reason is because making content is time consuming. And when you only get 1 to 2 views per video, it becomes work. It doesn't become fun anymore. It's not that I want to be big and famous. I don't. I never planned, to make this into something where I have millions of viewers or a platform that gives me money, because I don't get any money. There's no ads. But 1 or 2 views is disappointing, especially when I have a couple of hundred subscribers. I get it. Not every video is for your taste. I get it. But I have asked in the past for people who do watch my videos, what content do you want? Because I do paranormal. I've done some missing 411. I've done stuff about drugs and stuff about addiction. But I have not received one response to what content, where would you like me to go? Because at the moment I'm just sharing live stuff, and I'm pretty full. I'm pretty exhausted. I've exhausted a lot of, topics for very little feedback. And as I said, I don't want millions of people. I don't want that responsibility. But I'm at one of the smaller channels, and it would be nice to know, to give the people what they want instead of me just groping around in the dark guessing. Anyway, the other reason I said I haven't been on is my health. Let me set the stage for you. In Australia, being down south, our seasons are different. We're coming into it's the end of autumn for us. We're coming into winter soon, where I get sick in summer. They have done millions of tests, from scans, blood work, and they don't know why I get edema. What is edema? Edema is swelling. It's fluid. And I get fluid build-up on my ankles and a lot of fluid build-up on my gut. And this year, in particularly from Christmas, which is the hottest time of the year, to about a month ago, so over a period of 3 months, I put on 8 kilos. That's a lot. It was so much that when I stood on the scales and saw that I was nearly 77 kilos for someone who's only 5'7" and who had been most of her life down in the 50s. And I understand at my age, I'm not going to weigh 58 kilos anymore, but it's not inconceivable for me to be 68 kilos. So I had a cry. It was a shock. Now remember, this is fluid. It's not fat. My face didn't change. My wrists didn't change. No other part of my body changed, but my swollen legs, lower limbs, some swollen ankles, legs, and I looked 9 months more pregnant. So my doctor gave me some fluid tablets, and I've already discussed them, but I didn't discuss what else he gave me, and that was a mounjaro pen. Now, I lost 6 kilos. I told you it was fluid in a month. So last month, when I just recently weighed myself, which was about 3 weeks ago, I was down to 71 kilos. But my kidneys function suffered, and it suffered really badly. I've already made a video about this, and one of my family members is involved in the medical field and says that mounjaro pens, which is an injection. So a mounjaro, I'm not going to pronounce this right. It has the medication Tirzepatine, Tirzepatide, off the top of my head, and it's very expensive. 2.5 pen, which you only get 4 doses from Chemist Warehouse, is $280, and as the dose increases, it costs more money. Now, these pens or these injections, so you only have one injection every month. There's also a fault. Well, there was a fault with my pen. When you have a dose, the pen winds and winds around, and it clicks from 0 to 1, and that's your dose. So every dose, your pen comes out, your injection so far, and you press it down till it reaches the 0 mark. But to know you've had a dose, it starts when you wind it up, click it up on R1. On my 4th and final dose, and remember, this is at the smallest amount, 2.5 milligrams of this drug, $70 a shot. Mine didn't dial from 0 to 1. It only would click to a certain level, and I thought, oh, that must be it. And I injected it. And you inject it subcutaneously, so it either goes into your stomach or your thigh. That's where they recommend. Now, I asked my doctor to have a look at my pen left over, and he said no, it wasn't right. There was still medication in there. But I rang the company, and the company is Lilly, LILLEY.com, and they said, no, you've had your dose. At the moment, there's an investigation going on because my doctor and I agree that it didn't dial from 0 to 1, therefore I did not have my complete dose, but the company and the chemist are arguing that I did. But let's change the topic. I said to my doctor, will this ever be on PBS? PBS means it's public benefit scheme, which makes medication affordable. Now, just before I talk about that, this medication works on insulin, and your insulin works on your appetite, so you feel fuller quicker. But what they didn't tell you is that you should have a meal every 4 hours because of this insulin control. And because what happened to me was a side effect, my kidney function was terrible. I ended up in the emergency department, referral to the renal team. I'm not taking the pen anymore because I've lost all that fluid. It's done its job. And secondly, I can't afford this. But anyway, I said to my doctor, why isn't it on the PBS? And he said, because it would be misused. Any person who was obese can use it if it was on PBS. But what makes me mad is celebrities or famous people or rich people who have money can control the narrative, go see their doctor, get this pen, and the dosage goes up. And as I said, as the dosage goes up, the injection, the pen, costs more money. So I have a friend who's got one dose higher than me, the 5 milligrams, and she's paying nearly $600 for that's just for a month for 4 doses, because you have a dose each week the same day. And it really makes me angry that we have bought into this lie that we have to be thin. So celebrities and famous people and rich people are using it, and they're abusing it because they've got the money and they can afford to look nice and slim. And apparently Safe Park made a very funny episode about this pen. Cartman, being the fat kid, wants this magic pen, and they source it from another country. And I'm not going to spoil the show for you. Watch it. It is hilarious. But it makes me angry that genuine people like me, who it wasn't fat, it was fluid, it gets a little bit out of reach. So next time I put on all that fluid, and it will happen because we don't know why I'm doing it, I'm not going to be able to afford this injection. And I understand what my doctor is saying, because think of it, if it was affordable, you could go out and eat fast food all day, put on as much weight as you want, and then go to the chemist and get a pen and lose the weight. Sadly, we have bought into that beauty is being thin. A couple of 100 years ago, it actually wasn't. If you were thin, you were seen as poor and as lower class, because to have a little bit of meat on you meant you were eating properly. But this ridiculousness, especially in America, they boast about being a size 0. In Australia, it's a little bit more realistic. The smallest size is 6 or 8. And we have so bought into the lie, like me, crying because I was nearly 80 kilos. And as I said, it was fluid. In 1 month, I lost, because of this pen, 6 kilos. And it's great to have my old body back, but at the expense of kidneys. And it's a well-known side effect of these insulin type pens that kidneys are suffering. So for the fact of looking beautiful, rich people can afford and abuse medication, and all of us are putting our health at risk. Now, I've just shared a true story with you, but I also want to tell you I am not a health professional. So what happened to me may not happen to you, and always seek medical advice before you do get new medication or even think about medication. And when you do get new medication and it's the first time that you have used it, ask questions. Ask the chemist, how does this affect my body and what should I be doing? I wasn't told any of it. Just given a pamphlet with this pen injection shown how to prime it and how to use it. And as I said, at the moment I've got a fight going on with the company because I disagreed that I didn't get my last dose. And if I did get my last dose, the pen was still defective because it didn't go when you wind it up to the 1 mark to show I had a dose. Please let me know in the comments if you have used this or similar medication and your thoughts about it. I am very appreciative of every and any view, and especially comments. I never push to like and subscribe. You know what you like, and I don't believe in pushing people. Like and subscribe. That's, that's your choice. Thanks again for watching. Be kind to one another and to yourselves. Love, light, and blessings. And please also make a comment. What content would you like me to talk about? Thank you. Bye.